talk about how to use these two words, hope and wish, in English. First of all, what's the difference? Let's look at these two sentences. I hope I can take a vacation next year. I wish I could take a vacation next year. Well, of course, we have two different words, hope and wish, but what's the difference in meaning? There is actually a difference in meaning between these two sentences, and this is really important. The first one, when I say, I hope I can take a vacation, this means I believe that this is actually possible. I might take a vacation. The next one, when I say, I wish I could, this indicates I don't believe it's possible. It's impossible for me to take a vacation next year. So that's the important difference between hope and wish. With hope, I think something's possible. With a wish, I know it's not possible. Also, let's look at the structures, the words that follow each of these, hope and wish. With the first one, it says, I hope I can. With the second, it says, I wish I could. So we're going to use can after hope and could after wish. I'm not going to say something like this, I wish I can take a vacation. The structures that follow wish can actually be a little bit tricky, so that's what we're going to look at next. Let's talk about wishes about the present. So notice the verbs that I use here when I'm making wishes about the present. I wish I had a lot of money. I wish I knew how to speak French. I wish I could read people's minds. That would be so cool. I wish my best friend didn't live so far away. So I told you I'm talking about the present, things that I wish could be true but are not true or actually impossible. And in all of these sentences about the present, I'm using the past after wish. Had, knew, could, didn't live. All of these are examples of the past. And that's the structure that I use after wish when I'm talking about the present. So this combination of wish plus past, that signals to the listener that you're making a sentence, a wish about the present. Here's another tricky thing about wishes about the present and the grammar is the word were. Notice this in the first sentence. I wish it weren't raining. This might seem a little strange to you because normally we will say it wasn't. But with wish, we are going to use were or weren't with all of the forms. I, you, he, she, it, we, they, you, plural. We are always going to use were. And this is a special construction that really happens when we use wish. I wish it weren't raining. It is raining. I don't like it. I wish the situation were different. I wish it weren't raining. Or I wish I were smarter. I wish school were easier. I miss my mother. I wish she were here right now. I wish those shoes weren't so expensive. So we are not going to use was or wasn't. Instead, we're going to use were or weren't for all of the forms. And this is the grammar structure that follows wish. Now you might hear people actually using it differently, but I'm telling you what the correct grammar is, and this is the correct grammar here. After all of the forms, when we're talking about the present, we're going to use were or weren't for our wishes. So let's talk about wishes about the past. We're reflecting on the past. We're talking about our wishes that things might have been different. And here's how we say it. We say, I wish I hadn't stayed up so late last night. I'm so tired today. So here we're using past perfect. So to make a wish about the past, I use past perfect. That's had or hadn't and past participle, like hadn't stayed. Or the next one, I wish I had listened to my parents when they told me to study science. So remember, for the present, we use past. For the past, we use past perfect. Or maybe we want to talk about can in the past. And for this, we're going to use could have and the past participle like this. I wish you could have come to my party, but I understand that you had to work. I wish you could have seen the look on Sarah's face when our boss told her she was wrong. I thought she was going to explode. So could, have, and the past participle. That's what we're going to use when we're talking about the past with wish, and we want to use the form of can. Now let's talk about wishes about the future. We have 3 constructions we can use: would, could, and we're going to. First of all, let's look at would. I wish the dog upstairs would stop barking. I can't concentrate. So I'm using would and the base form, would stop. Or I wish you would listen to me. Okay, I want this situation to change. You're not listening, or you don't listen regularly. I want this to change. I wish you would listen to me. The time that I'm not going to use would is when I'm talking about myself. I'm not going to say, I wish I would go to London. Instead, I'm going to use could. I wish I could go to London tomorrow. We can use could for the other forms as well, like this. I wish she could come to my party. Finally, we have we're going to. I wish he were going to be here for the concert tomorrow. It's so sad that he's not going to be. Or I wish there were going to be more review materials for the test. The teacher is not going to give us very many. I wish this situation were different. So to review, we had 2 words that we looked at, hope and wish. Hope is for something that we believe is possible, can actually happen. Wish, we understand it's not possible, it didn't happen, or it's not going to happen. And we have a lot of specific grammar rules for using wish. When we're talking about the present, we're going to use the past. Like, I wish I knew how to speak French. Or we might use could, like, I wish I could dance very well. And also we're going to use were for all the forms, if the verb we need is the verb be. Like, I wish it weren't raining. Or I wish I were taller, something like that. When we're talking about the past and our wishes about the past, we're going to use past perfect. That's had or hadn't and the past participle. Or we might use could have and the past participle, like I wish you could have come. When we're talking about the future, we've got would, could, or we're going to. Would we can use for anything except for talking about ourselves. We can say, I wish she would tell me her secret. But I don't say, I wish I would be free tomorrow. Instead, we will use could. And another example of could is something like this. I wish you could come over tomorrow and we could watch TV, but I understand we both have to work. Or also we have were going to. I wish we were going to have more time to review before the test. So listen, this is some important English grammar and some very key topics, and we have a whole lot more. Check out one of our videos about modals for the past or for the present so that you can learn how to use those perfectly as well. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.